All right, welcome back to Pregame Preview, where we break down every single NFL playoff game. We did this last year. We're bringing it back. If you haven't already seen the Seattle game preview, make sure you check that out before the game, just after 4 o'clock today. Yeah, I'm excited to discuss this game. We're talking...
Right, here we go. We got the 5-seed LA Chargers heading into your city, my state, Jacksonville, the 4-seed, the division-winning Jacksonville Jaguars. I know that still feels good to hear.
It always feels good, man. It always feels
Yeah,
good.
but so a 5 versus 4 game, there's a lot of, not controversy around this game, but a lot of pride around this game. Chargers fans, they're prideful. Jags fans, they're prideful. No way we're losing this game, says both teams and both fan bases. So this will definitely be an interesting one. We got some scores and we got some keys to the game that we're going to dive into.
Absolutely. So, nice little picture we have there.
I know. I knew you'd like this one when I was getting this one set up.
ETN, stiff arming.
Kenneth Murray. Big
Murray.
fan of his when he was at Oklahoma. But yeah.
Just getting it right in the face.
Right. But like I said, 5-seed Chargers coming to Jacksonville to take on the division-winning Jacksonville Jaguars. Zach, let's talk about how both teams got here. It was a race to the finish line for Jacksonville, and then for the Chargers, they kind of just cruised out a very easy schedule to the end of the year. So both teams kind of coming into this game a little bit differently. The Chargers had their wild card locked up. They had a very easy schedule, while the Jags had to literally crawl, pull, scratch, and pull, just barely get in the playoffs. But they did it. Barely counts. They're in.
Yeah. Jacksonville, they had to win a bunch of really tough games to even get to the position where in Week 18 they were able to seal it with a win over Tennessee, including games against Dallas. You had a game against Baltimore.
Was Dallas the second to last game of the year?
I think it was third to last.
I was going to say that and the Titans game were two very good games at the end of the year, especially two good ones to win, too. At home, both
at home. And Jacksonville at home's tough to beat. They've been tough to beat for a long time in Jacksonville. So why don't we go ahead and I'm gonna go through my points first.
Let's talk about it. Who's winning this game, Zach?
So I have Jacksonville winning this game 27-17.
Wow.
I know, shocker. I picked my own team to win. But I got some pretty good reasons behind it. Not least of which is the fact that Mike Williams might not even play, and the fact that the Chargers defense is one of the worst against the run, if not the worst against the run, with ETN, after not starting basically 3 games behind James Robinson. He's hit over 1,000 yards this year. He's also a great pass-catching back. Him and Lawrence have a lot of chemistry, obviously coming from the same college, Clemson. And the Chargers defense just has not looked great all year. I know they have Bosa, and I know they have Bosa's...
Right, he got knocked up a little bit, too.
He got knocked up a little bit, too, so it's going to be interesting to see his production in this game. But they got Mack back there as well. But this offensive line's been really good. They have not let Lawrence get his jersey dirty very much this season. I didn't write that. That's not what I wrote. So I don't think the pass rush is going to be that big of a problem for the Jaguars. As well as Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa play, I don't think it's going to be that big of a problem. Again, Mike Williams potentially not playing this game. A big mistake on Brandon Staley's part by playing his starters through Week 18 when they did not need to win that game. They were in the playoffs already. So that was a bit of a shock to watch him play them 4 quarters for no reason. And then have 2 star players get banged up Week 18. Not typically what you want your head coach to do if you're a fan of a team. And then Trevor wrote down Herb checked down Kryptonite. But it's no secret that Austin Eckler has done a lot of his damage to defenses in the passing game as a pass-catching back.
I think 107 receptions, I think.
I know he's got over 100. I'm not sure exactly how many. You would probably know better than me.
That's not even written down. I just know.
But Jacksonville is the best defense in the NFL against pass-catching running backs. They do not allow, I think it's like a 40 QBR or a 40 rating against running backs. The potential weakness is Keenan Allen in the slot. We've had trouble covering slot receivers this year, but at the same time, without Mike Williams, we can move a corner over to shadow Keenan Allen pretty much all game, and then it's just him and Joshua Palmer. And I'm not that worried about Joshua Palmer. Both of our corners have played better this year than they did last year, which is a testament to the job that the defensive backs coach has done in Jacksonville over the course of this season. But at the end of the day, I think it really comes down to the run game. I know it was my first point, but when you can control the clock and your defense can play decent football, which, I mean, the defense in the Tennessee game looked really good in the second half of that game. If we can do that, I don't think it's that hard to imagine Jacksonville taking down this win, especially at home, where they've been really good all season.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so a 10-point win for the Jags, which kind of maybe feels like an upset, but I don't really know who's favored in this game. I would think it would be the Chargers a little bit, but
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
But
it should be close either way. I mean, it should be a much better game than the 4:30 game we got. But anything else you want to touch on before I go into my score and what I got?
Other than that 27-17, I think most of the scoring is going to open up in the second half. I don't expect there to be many points in the first half. I could see it being 17-10 at half or something like that. Not like a crazy high-scoring game. And then you just see Jacksonville. I think that the run game gets to the Chargers in the second half after wearing them down for a full half. So
both teams just like feeling each other out,
Yeah. Exactly. So Trevor, why don't you go into your points?
Okay, so
and who do you have winning?
Zack. Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Jags. Yeah. 26-20.
Okay.
Duval,
baby.
Let's talk about it. Everyone loves an NFL Cinderella story, and it's not like this is a bad team by any means. Like, usually the Cinderellas we talk about are 15 seeds in March Madness that win a couple games. This is a good football team. They're at the bottom of the AFC playoffs, but, this is a lot more competitive team than people might give them their credit for. Honestly, this is a better football team than some of the playoff teams we got in the NFC. They're competitive. They're going to stick around, and that Jags defense is going to swarm. Led by middle linebacker, what's his name, Zach?
Foyesade
Oluokun.
My man.
They fly all over the field. They're a horizontal defense, which is really going to help playing against one of the best examples of a spread offense I think we have in the NFL, where really they're running plays or even pass plays.
Yeah.
But they like to spread the ball out. That's a fast Jaguars defense. It's a physical Jaguars defense on the outside. And the linebackers can move around, so that's going to be huge. Kind of take those chunk plays away, and then you really got to make the Chargers earn it. If you're Jacksonville, they spread you out, they go little by little, they chip away down the field, and they take a lot of time doing that, which is okay. But you really got to make them earn it.
Yeah,
you don't let that 3-yard pass go for 9 yards.
Yep.
Let that 3-yard pass go for 3, 4, 5 yards, and just keep everything in front of you. Make them earn it, and don't give up anything crazy down the field. But I think the Jags have enough to get it done. I'm taking them 26-20. And Zach, we agreed on both games. I'm sure that's not going to happen for every game.
Yeah.
But our scores are even a lot closer here.
Yeah.
But
I think I mean, for me, it's exactly what you said. The Jags defense is very fast. I mean, even their linebackers have speed. Devin Lloyd, Foyesade Oluokun, even Chad Muma, who got a little bit of roasting on Twitter after his performance in the Tennessee game.
His pass coverage was not good at all.
He is fast.
Nothing was really good at all.
Huh?
But yeah, in that game.
In that game, he wasn't great, but he's a rookie, and he's a pretty decent rookie linebacker. He's played well all season. Just had one bad game. But I think that you're exactly right that the Chargers like to kind of dink it, dunk it down the field. Like you said, their run plays or pass plays. And I think if the Jacksonville Jaguars can keep everything in front of them and make them have to go 13-play drives, 15-play drives, it's going to be very hard for LA to do that for an entire game.
And if you stop that chip away offense, they're forced to push the ball down the field. And that's just, fact is, it's a lot lower percent of a throw.
Yeah.
And The Chargers, if you stop them one time, stop them twice, it's 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8.
Yep.
So that's where this game is going to be won or lost. And I trust the Jags after what I saw from their Week 18 defense, the way they played at home. They believe in each other. And, it's just the Chargers, bro. Like, you could, if they were playing the Chiefs or, the Bills, and I was like, they believe, it doesn't matter. But It's just the Chargers. They could win this game, and I think they will.
Okay. I agree. Trevor, what do you think about the quarterback's hair in this?
I think, wow, okay. That's a good question. I think Trevor Lawrence has a lot nicer hair. I think it's a lot healthier. It doesn't look like he just got out of the ocean at all times. It looks like he actually owns a blow dryer and uses it. But yeah, and speaking of quarterbacks, I think they're actually both going to have at least one turnover in this game. That's something I'd keep an eye out for too. If there's any better betting men out there or women, and those turnover lines are 0.5, take the over. So both quarterbacks are having a turnover this game.
Okay. I think I agree with that, actually. I think for Trevor Lawrence, it's probably going to be a fumble at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's had a little bit of a fumble bug this year.
And I hope that doesn't rattle him if it happens early.
No, I mean, he's been quick to bounce back when he's done that, so I'm not that worried about it. Yeah.
Because if it happens early against, like I said, like the Chiefs or Bills, bad news. You can get in a hole real quick. But the Chargers, I think just play your game for a full, what do they play, 48 minutes, whatever, 60 minutes? 60. Just play your game for the full 60 minutes, and that is going to be enough to be at least competitive. So
now, what do you think about what do you think about me saying it's going to happen on the ground for the Jags? Do you agree with that, or do you think it's going to be more of a passing attack from the Jaguars?
I don't think Trevor Lawrence has to necessarily, like I like to say on the show, lead them to a win this week.
Yeah.
I just think he just needs to not lose the game. He could have a fumble, he could have an interception, whatever. And it's a young quarterback, his first playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes guys get rattled, and it's hard to have a good game. You can have a bad game, you could have a really bad game, you could have an okay game. All that stuff's a possibility, but you really just need to have a good game. You don't need to try to do too much. And Travis Etienne is. Yeah, I wish I had a better word. Nothing came to mind, but he's a great player. He's an X factor, and he's gonna. I hope he has his way this game. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence is just very important to keep your cool, and I think Doug Peterson's gonna stay in his ear all game.
Yeah.
And just kind of let's play our game for 60 minutes. Whatever happened. Let's go out there and let's just make it right.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I'm looking forward to this game a lot.
I am too. One of the guys I work with, he's a Chargers fan, so I really hope we win. He's from San Diego.
Oh, bro, it's the East Coast. Why would you be a Chargers fan?
Yeah, he's from San Diego, California. So
that makes sense. Back when they were respectable, when they had LT. I love that guy.
But yeah, so those are the picks for the Jacksonville Jaguars Chargers matchup. We both taken the Jags. We both took. Actually, you're gonna have to check out the San Francisco-Seattle game to see who we took in that one. But those are the picks for the Jags Chargers game. We're pretty. We're kind of one mind right now in these picks. We'll see how much it switches up as we move on. But we're kind of one mind right now.
Mm-hmm. It's been real. Make sure to follow us on Twitter if you haven't already at Purely Football, at Purely Sports. Zach, this was fun. I'll see you soon for the next one.
Absolutely. And if you want to follow our personal Twitters, they are up on screen right now. At Purely Zack, at Purely Trev Scott. Thank you guys for watching this pregame preview of the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Chargers in Jacksonville. We will see you guys in the next one.